Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This will be your source for Back 4 Blood info. If you have anything you'd like to go over, any questions you have, you let me know in the comments and I will gladly address them in the next video. Now today we're going to be talking about copper. Most importantly, we're talking about the ways to get copper the most efficient way. Now, I have this on solo mode so that you can see every one of the cards. If you are playing by yourself, the first one you want to pick up is Hazard Pay. That's 250 copper guaranteed at the start of every level. 250 right off the bat. Nothing you have to do. The second one I would take is Bounty Hunter. Now with Bounty Hunter, you get 10 copper per mutation kill. Now if a level goes on long enough, you'll get your 30 kills, no problem. But it is unreliable with faster teams. You might only walk away with 100, 120, somewhere around that area. But it's still better than most of the other ways. Because like if you look over to Copper Scavenger, it sounds amazing, right? It brings in more copper piles. Well, I've done the runs. I've farmed level 1 enough to find out it's 18 piles, period. And Copper Scavenger made it 20 piles, period. No variation. Always a set amount of piles. So theoretically, Copper Scavenger is only worth 25 to 100, 25, 50, or 100 with the piles coming. And you're more likely to get 25 than anything else, meaning that's only worth 50. All you have to do to get to that is kill 5 mutations, which you'll kill 5 in a normal level. And that's guaranteed. I've never ran a level in Back 4 Blood and not ran into the mutations. Now, what you would want to do on your very next mission is compound interest. You save your copper for 2 or 3 levels and you'll have a abnormally large amount because it's going to give you 10% of everything. And now the beauty of getting that on day 2 and not day 1, you have all that gold, all that copper you saved up from the very beginning. And you're already going to start off with that bonus 250 on day 1 as well as day 2. So those are just going to stack up really nicely. Beyond that, for solo, I would not recommend any of the others. So you've got Bounty Hunter and Hazard Pay. Take those 2 to start, and then Compound Interest. If you're really wanting that extra bit, then go with Scavenger. Now, Lucky Pennies, if you are a normally lucky person, that would be good. But what you're looking at with Lucky Pennies is that 1 out of 3 roughly times, you'll get 8 extra gold from a 25, 17 from a 50, and 35 from a 100. That one is easy math for anyone. Now that sounds great, but with Scavenger, you're looking at an average of 7 extras a go. With the baseline mostly being 25s, you're probably going to get them on those, meaning it's going to be 7 8s. If you do the math there, 56, not that great. So you're talking about Lucky Pennies is worth about 56 per turn, per level. If you're lucky, it'll get you more, but you never want to count on luck. Now for solo, that would be it for you. I would really just say compound interest, hazard pay, bounty hunter, and if you're feeling like you need the little extra, scavenger. But things take a twist when you have a team. If you have a 4-man team, holy God, the amount of copper you can get is insane. So let's start off. Let's say you have your 4-man team. You bring Share the Wealth. Now again, I don't know if that gives it to yourself as well. I don't think it does because it's labeled each teammate. So we're gonna base the math off of that. So everybody but you gets 100. That's 300 gold. Next. Now, you could look at it and go, well, that's 300 gold. Wouldn't I want that? Or even the 250. Not yet, because this is where Scavenger comes into play. Earlier, you were looking at Scavenger from the point of view of, I'm for myself. Plus, bots don't buy you anything. But now, Scavenger has quadrupled in effect because those 2 extra piles you brought in also go to your teammates. So even if you get 2 25s, that's 50 for everybody. And there's another play that's going to come in here. That's turn 1. You take Scavenger and Share the Wealth. At the end of every mission, before you shut the door, every other player drops you all of their copper. Now keep in mind, this is meant to be a 4-man team on comms. And on the second level, you pick up compound interest. Now you're going from what was just getting 10% on what was averaging 2,000 to 3,000, to now you're getting 10% of 6,000 to 8,000. And as long as you keep muling all the copper to the one player who's playing as Scrooge, it'll build. Now, you will never, I do not believe you will get to a point to where the interest pays for both the perks. But just getting that extra 10% from the start, you're going to be able to afford both the perks and all of the items you want. Every shop after the first. Beyond that, then you can start looking at if you want to get more money, but for a team, you really don't need a lot. You can go with just Share the Wealth, Scavenger, and interest. If you want to be a little out there, you can take hazard pay again. Or if everyone is going for it, now keep in mind, this is a next level trick, is if everybody takes Share the Wealth and everybody takes Bounty Hunter. You farm 30 mutations and you drop all the gold at the end. Now if all 4 players have Bounty Hunter, that's 1,200 copper. And that's going to be 1,200 copper dropped to whoever's picking up interest on the next day. That's bonus. Not to mention, you complete your special objectives every round. That's an additional 2,000. Now, I do hope this was informational for you. I hope I broke down how everything works. And just some tidbits at the end here is money grubbers up to 100 copper. That sounds great, but you have to have Scavenger to get the most out of this. You will not get 20 piles without it. Lucky pennies. It's as it is. I've broken down the numbers. You'll get I rounded down on everything, mind you. I don't know if the game rounds down or up. But 8 gold for the small stack, 17 for the medium, and 35 for the large. If you fancy luck, that's one to go with. Scavenger, 2 extra piles a mission. Soon as I can play test with some other people and I get a squad, I'll see if those stack. If they stack, that could have some interesting effects. Lucky pennies might actually become viable. But then hazard pay, the flat rate, share the wealth, good for all of your team. And finally, interest to build up. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I appreciate all of the support I can get. You can also find me live on Twitch under Camping Scout. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.